And this is what our renovation looks like just 2 weeks after starting it and setting it and forgetting it with OtO right there. You can see here, this we seeded on October 1st. It is now October 15th. We are at about 3.5 inches or so. These are 2x4s. It is looking phenomenal. But let's rewind a bit and show you how we started with this entire process. This is OtO, and it is an irrigation system that allows you to put things like fertilizers and bug repellents and odor elimination type of solutions in the compartments back here, and automatically waters your garden or your lawn. Whatever you'd like to water will automatically do it and apply those solutions all on a scheduled basis in order to... So OtO did send this unit to us at no cost in exchange for this video, but the thoughts and opinions are of my own. Here you can see a sneak peek to the day that we're uploading this video here. OtO is watering. If you guys have any questions, please leave those down in the comments. I'll also leave a link to where you could pick up an OtO unit if you are interested in purchasing one. And in this video, we have a small test plot here where we're gonna be testing out OtO and really just setting it and forget it and see how it transforms this little area here. But first, we are going to prepare our test plot by performing a complete renovation, starting with blowing off the area, killing the existing turf, scalping, dethatching, scarifying, seeding, rolling, spreading peat moss, then giving it one final roll. This method will achieve excellent seed to soil contact and help minimize washout. Now, let's show you what's in the box and set things up. First, you are presented with the instructions and accessories, followed by the OtO unit itself. Inside the unit, you will find the power cord. This is also where you will install the solutions, which are sold separately. And lastly, the mounting plate. Inside the accessories box are the mounting screws that screw to the bottom of OtO. The included power cord is used for two things. First, to initially charge the unit. This is not optional. You must charge the unit overnight before continuing with the setup. Second, if you don't have access to good sunlight, you can plug this unit in permanently. Otherwise, the unit should be able to power itself if it gets at least 3 hours of direct sunlight via the solar panel on top of the unit. The mounting plate is good for ground or fence mounting. We opted for the ground method. Just drive the plate into the ground and press OtO into place. The screws we attached earlier will line up with the holes on the plate, and with light pressure should snap right into place. Next, connect the hose and we are ready to set things up in the app. On top of the OtO unit is a switch. You'll need to turn this switch in order to enter the Bluetooth pairing mode. Within the app, you'll search for your device and add it to your account and set up the Wi-Fi. Once in, OtO will likely update its firmware, which will take a few moments, but once updated, you can start adding zones and playing around with all of the options. We are going to start by creating a new zone that we want to water. The app will walk you through the steps to create each zone. Once you are ready to create a boundary, you will be prompted to turn the water on from OtO. The hose bib should already be on, but the button at the upper right corner here will turn on the built-in valve within the OtO unit. Once the water has started flowing from the unit, you can start directing the water around with the buttons on the screen. Select the starting point, then click Add Point. Continue around the perimeter of your zone to trace out the area and add points along the way, then click Save and Finish. Since OtO is connected to the internet, it gets real-time weather data for your location and will automatically delay watering based on the amount of rainfall you had in your area to conserve that water. Next in the app, we are playing around with some of the watering settings and scheduling. For the purposes of establishing a new lawn from seed, we want to keep the area moist, but use the least amount of water possible to avoid washout. Note that with normal house pressure of about 50 psi, this unit can achieve a 30-foot watering radius and cover a maximum of 2,800 square feet. I may end up putting OtO back here in our garden after we're done with our test plot here, mounted on the fence. We do have these like planter boxes and a couple of planting bowls there. The nice thing about OtO is I can create an individual zone for every single one of these and individually water them without watering all the rock in between. And here's a sneak peek to the day that we're actually uploading the video. The grass is really long and starting to fold over on itself. OtO just watered. This is actually going to be due for its first mow, but it is important to note, some of you may want to water areas more than once a day. And in order to do that, you have to duplicate the zone in the app and then go through and adjust the timing. So you can have an AM watering zone and like a PM watering zone. You can create as many zones as you want to create those watering schedules. We have a few spots here from yesterday, which was our first watering. These dry areas here, I want to see if this second watering will cover that area. As we're waiting for that to start up, you can see the droplets are a little bit heavy, which is why I did all that extra work to roll the seed in. And I did put the peat moss on top, but you can kind of see the peat moss has been pushed there. Seeds are still there, seeds are still intact. I'm really hoping that as we continue along with this germination process, that everything kind of stays in place. And it just fired up as I was looking at some of the settings. So we want to see, you can see how it's kind of pushing up, but it's covering those areas that were not watered yesterday, which is nice. So we'll see if this gets a more even coverage here. Kind of skip that area right there. Here we come to the next area. Kind of skipped it a little bit. There we go. Got a little bit better. We'll see how this continues over the next couple of days here. This is pretty much how it works. It's kind of just printing that water within this area here. And if we show you how it looks up close, you can kind of see how the water droplets, you know, they're a pretty decent size. And you know, if you don't take special care like we have to really roll things in and kind of press that seed into the ground, or use something like a seed tackifier, I think you can expect things to move on you. So if you are seeding bare dirt and you're using a device like this, you do want to make sure that the ground is thoroughly prepared and that you're getting the seed really pressed into the soil there. Another thing you can consider doing is putting something like straw over top of this area, just to help soften the blow of those water droplets. And even the straw may more evenly distribute that water underneath, so that you don't have some of those areas that didn't quite get enough of that water yet. So today marks day 6 of our little tiny renovation right here with OtO. And as you can see behind me, we have some decent germination. Let's show it to you up close. All right, here it is up close. The germination of our little test plot here. You can see in some areas, it looks like the peat moss had been pushed a bit, and we're getting a little bit of like this mounding effect. So you can see kind of like right here, it's a little mound there, a little mound and an arc there, all throughout. That's because it is pushing some of that peat moss as it's spraying. Closer to the unit over here, we do have what appears to be a small bare spot here, but we're going to see how this fills in. Again, we are not touching anything. What I might do is just clear out some of these leaves and stuff just to keep everything nice and open. But outside of that, we're gonna let this grow as is automatically with OtO. And now that we do have some decent germination, we are gonna go ahead and install one of the plant food solutions so that we can really encourage the growth of our little test plot here. Adding solutions is quick and intuitive. Within the app, you'll see a diagram of OtO with a few plus buttons that represent the available bays in the unit. When you click on one of the available bays, you'll be prompted to scan the QR code of the product you are about to load. Then go ahead and insert the bottle into the corresponding bay and screw on the corresponding cap. Then select the zone you want to apply the solution, and that's it. One of the primary selling points of OtO is the ability to do this and load several solutions and have the unit automatically apply them to your lawn. I have never seen any other product on the market that does this, which makes this one really stand out. And just to kind of go over the different solutions that are available, looks like there are 2 fertilizers. The one we're going to have installed is the 1304 here, just a little bit higher nitrogen content, but tons of micronutrients, as you can see down there at the bottom. The other one is an 808, also plenty of micronutrients and stuff too. We also have an odor eliminator. I'm not going to put this in there for now, and then one for bugs. So just going to go with the one fertilizer for right now. This one, it is interesting though to note that it doesn't appear that they have one with phosphorus. So out of these 2 fertilizers, they are none of them contain phosphorus. So if your soil tests are calling for phosphorus, you may need to explore other means to get that phosphorus for the soil. So phosphorus is incredibly important with the root development, especially in new plant growth, like new seeding like this. So that's why you see it in a lot of starter fertilizers and stuff like that. Nitrogen is growth, phosphorus is root development, and that potassium is more just all around plant health. So you may hear people say things like up, down, and all around. That's really what those macronutrients are for. So I'm starting to lean towards, some of my initial thoughts with OtO here, leaning towards this is going to be a better unit probably for maintaining an existing lawn. So here we're putting it through its paces, trying to grow a brand new lawn. But those are just some of my initial thoughts. We're going to continue along this journey here, probably the next month or so, to really see how this pans out and how this establishes here, and we will bring you along that journey. I do try to give this information to you in as real time as possible, and I also try my best to answer every single one of your questions. So if you do have any questions, please leave those down in the comments below. We do our very best to answer every one, even if it means reaching out to the manufacturers to have those questions answered for you. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for joining. And this is what our renovation looks like just 2 weeks after starting it and setting it and forgetting it, with OtO right there. You can see here, we seeded on October 1st. It is now October 15th. We are at about 3.5 inches or so. These are 2x4s. It is looking phenomenal.